Hi, this is Nathan Tintle. In this Learning Goal video, we will talk about the shape of the null distribution when using a MAD statistic to compare multiple group means. We will use the ambiguous prose dataset to talk about this learning goal. In the ambiguous prose dataset, the value of the MAD statistic is 1.16. We're going to simulate the null distribution of no association, which means that there's no difference in the group means. Let's keep in mind when we do this simulation that the MAD statistic cannot be negative. And so, unlike when we compared two means where the null distribution was bell-shaped and centered at 0, in this case that won't be possible because you can't ever end up with a negative value of the MAD statistic. So what does the shape of the MAD statistic look like when the null hypothesis is true? Well, it's similar to what happens when you take a bell-shaped curve centered at 0 and fold it over the y-axis. You end up with a right-skewed distribution that never gets less than 0, as shown in this graph here. So, when you simulate the null hypothesis and use a MAD statistic, you end up with an always positive, right-skewed distribution. What this means also then is that the MAD statistic is like a two-sided test built in. That is, that because you are looking at the positive differences, a difference in either direction is fine, unlike when you compare two group means and you decide, am I a one-sided test, is this group bigger than the other, is it the other way around? Here you're looking for any difference. So ultimately when we look for a p-value with a MAD statistic, we're only going to look in the upper tail, but even though we're only looking in the upper tail, it's like a two-sided test because we're looking for any size difference. We'll see that more in other learning goal videos.